Yo.
Week 13.
Woo. Week 13.
What are we talking about today?
We talking about just whatever happened after the wedding. A whole lot.
Okay. So.
Go ahead and do your dates. Last week, that was that Friday. Go ahead and do that.
Last time we talked about how we got married, how excited we was, how we had all the things that happened before the wedding to get us there when we finally got there. And now we're married.
Yep.
Go ahead,
And
smile.
see? Yeah, how happy I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got married. Man, I was tired that night too. Man, I was so tired. I couldn't even.
So before we got married,
Why you didn't let me finish?
because before we got married, something started changing, like with him. I noticed it. Now you remember we told you the whole summer was paranoia. Paranoid. He was in the hospital, changing medicine. All those things happened, but he was getting better, but wasn't all the way back. Right, but I had noticed his sleep pattern. He had started getting sleepy at like 6 o'clock.
And I was waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
It was
Every
so
day.
off.
And I was working on some things every day like I had something to do. I was really, really, really motivated. I was working on
Everything.
music. I was working on creating these videos on YouTube, creating a Bipolar Preacher YouTube channel. By the way, go check out the Bipolar Preacher YouTube channel. I have a plethora of videos, different types of videos, educational, talking about real estate, stock markets, forgiveness, sermons, music, book launch, showing you what it looked like. It was beautiful. Showing the song that I performed at the wedding. You can see that there. It's a lot of different things. Some of my songs is on there. And so I was doing all that after the wedding, just working on that. I was manic basically. But remember, I was manic ever since the police came to my house.
Right.
I got really triggered into a real mania. And
But it had started to calm down, I thought. But it was a different kind of, he calmed down, but not calmed down. He would be so tired. I didn't think he was going to get through the wedding.
I didn't think I was gonna live. I kept telling Shauna, because you know, this is the crazy part. Now I'm already now. So this is what 2018. So me and Shauna had been together for a year. Shauna was getting a chance to see what it was like really dealing with mental health issues, dealing with mental illness. And I think it's like a learning curve, I feel, for people to understand it, and especially when you're dealing with it up close. But needless to say, right around that time of getting married, yeah, we was, happy that we did it. But I started getting stressed out more with my baby mother. I was trying to take her to court, trying to get my rights, because I felt like I've been restricted from my rights. And I wanted to fight, so I was calling attorneys,
Mother.
I was dealing with my mother,
It was a lot.
her issues, and then I started dealing with her. We was fighting, and we almost didn't make it, and that's real. And it was really stress. And I was telling Shauna, I was like, y'all gonna kill me, because I was so stressed out. My body was like
I was
tired.
too.
Yeah, she was stressed too.
Yeah, it was
She was stressed.
it was a lot. Not really understanding it, jumping in, not really understanding all his triggers, just watching them, learning as I go. I didn't have a book in front of me to say, this is what happens, and this, don't do this, and this was made. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy like that. It's not that kind of thing. Just like anybody, forget the mental illness. Once you get married, or once you come together and you learn that person, it's really a learning thing to learn them and what makes them upset and what they like and what they don't like. And with mental illness, it's more, I used to be fearful of making him go back in the hospital. Not me per se, but things around him that would make him upset and trying to keep him away from that. because I didn't want him to be triggered and be back in the hospital. I wanted him home. So really learning what made him upset and what caused and how to, like it's a domino effect a lot of times. Like this may happen and then it's not all of a sudden. It's a pattern, you know, like your sleep. You know what I'm saying? Sleep was the big thing that I have noticed. That anytime Chucky doesn't sleep, it's something going. He gonna eventually break down. And so I didn't know.
First thing that go.
I didn't know that though at first. I didn't understand. I just thought that he was just a little off. I didn't know that something is gonna happen after this because he gonna have to go to the hospital because something is not right. It's off right now, and this is him taking his medicine.
Right.
So imagine not doing that. All the things that people, you know, go through. This is him taking it consistently. So
I was taking it consistently. So what happened at the time, as I was, you know, after we got married, I was still in my program, my recovery program that we talked about.
Last week.
That's what I was in last week. What?
It's a couple weeks ago we talked about it.
Right. Yeah, a couple weeks ago we talked about the recovery program. So I was in the recovery program. I was still taking my medicine, and they have to do levels on me. So they checked my levels and they noticed that they were really, really low. And they were like, well, it's almost like you're not on it because it's so low. And guess what? I started having a lot of symptoms, a lot of anger, a lot of irritation. Then it got to the point where it was like so out of hand because I ended up getting to one of her family members at dinner. That should have never happened, but it did happen. Then me and her started arguing. We was arguing back and forth. It was really bad. I think I was getting into it with my business partner.
Yes, bad.
I was getting into it with my business partner. That was bad.
But when we found out, tell them the therapeutic level.
My therapeutic level of my lithium
Mm-hmm.
was like 0.20.
No, what did you was supposed to?
I'm usually around 0.60.
Right. So December, after we got married, he got tested, and man, gambling's still going on.
Right.
Okay, let's not forget that. Through all of this, it was a big headache, but his level was at 20, and that's like
That was low.
low.
So I had to, go into the hospital. But right before I went to the hospital, I was trying to work. And they tell me, the hospital tells me, well, you really shouldn't focus on work. And I can't help it because I want to work. I don't want to just be around, laying around and doing nothing with my life. So I like to work. So I was working, and my levels are low. I'm frustrated. I think Shauna and I were arguing, and I think we were talking about divorce. And that was like 3 months after we got married, 2 months after we got married. And I never forget, fighting. I remember it like this. This is what my see, I remember things emotionally. And I remember the moment. I could see the scene. I could see everything. Like I could see the refrigerator was to the right. I was standing by the stove. Shauna was sitting in a chair. And I'm talking about my ex-wife and how angry I was about not being with my son like I want to be. Because what happened was they took him to another country and I couldn't take him to Disney World. And I felt like that was a slap in the face. So I was angry. This was around December. And I was angry about that I wanted to, go for Christmas, but they told me no. So I felt like I was restricted. So I think we was in the kitchen and I was talking about my anger and I was talking about how my son was exhibiting mental health challenges. And to me, it was a real big thing for me, really emotional. So at the same time, I'm talking about my son, then my son was upset at me for what I was saying at the time, and then fighting with the fact that I couldn't get him. And I think I told him something I should have never said. I told him, forget it, they could have you then. If they want you, they could have you. And I shouldn't have said that because that was like hurtful. And my son expressed to me how hurtful that was. So this was also at the same time where I'm telling Shauna about that and talking about how Tyler felt. And then in the same moment, she tells me how she feels, which was like a blow. And I would never forget what I felt. Like, I felt energy leave my body. I felt angry. I felt alone. I felt like I was going to be by myself. And the words that she used was interesting to me. And I think I could understand it because it's human. It's a human thing to feel what she felt. It's a human thing. It's a real thing. And I think just hearing it at that time in that way just kind of like emotionally put me somewhere. And I don't think I was ever the same after that, because I think it just kind of showed me our humanity. It showed me some things. So, and I remember talking about my son and how he was upset and how he felt, because he was very angry at me. And she was like, well, I feel like I'm your caregiver, you know. And I was like, whoa. And it just touched me in so many ways. And it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it, you know. And I was like, you know, she was just telling me she was unhappy. So it challenged me, because I was kind of like, damn, I didn't know it was that bad for her. I really didn't know it was that bad. But I was thinking in my mind, like, damn, I'm dealing with this issue here, 2 issues, my baby mama and my son, and now I'm dealing with you. So I'm stressed out. And then plus I'm trying to do taxes.
And his levels was off.
And my levels was off. So I was really stressed to the highest level. So that was interesting. That was very interesting for me. And at that moment I was really thinking, like, man, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna just, you know, get my own place. And, you know, I was talking to my son about it, like, man, we're gonna have to do this again together, and all these different conversations that we were having. And I'm sleeping in my office. I don't want to come home, don't want to be here. You know, it was a real struggle. And I was still going to the VA, going to see my doctors.
You slept in office?
Slept in my office.
One night?
Well, one night. Well, Shauna tends to have this double-edged sword in her mouth. She speaks very sharply, and it cuts you. But then there's another side of the sword that's soft, and it comes back and be compassionate. So it's confusing to understand it. If you've seen it, you will know what I'm talking about. This is only for people who are up close to her. You will not know this if you are outside.
It's like a disclaimer.
I am telling you, there is a whole nother side.
Oh my God.
And I got a chance to experience these sides. And I'm probably the only one that really knows all of these sides. Okay. Well, I know all the parts to her. Mm-hmm. I've seen them. I've talked to them. I've introduced myself to them. And I've gotten acquainted with them. So I'm saying that to say this. Dealing with all those stressors, the baby mama, dealing with my mama, dealing with my levels being low, dealing with the fact that my therapist saying you need to come to the hospital, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Okay.
Dealing with Shauna.
So let me talk. Dealing
with my partner, my ex-partner, who I should have never been partners with. Should have never been partners with.
Sleep deprivation for me is not good. I need to sleep. Sleep is important to me. So during this time and this learning experience, all the things, knowing things that my mouth can't, okay. I have learned so much. I feel like we've been married about 10 years. I know we're going to learn so much more. But learning what not to say in moments of my emotional state, because I felt like my emotions was put to the side because of how strong his emotions were more important because of what he deals with. And so in moments learning when to say it and when not to say it, I have learned. And all those things that he was going through was not the best time for me to express my feelings, because it wasn't a good moment. He wasn't even at his right levels. And that makes all the difference. He wasn't even sleeping. And you can't even really hear me. He can't even really hear me the way that we communicate on a regular basis if he's off. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that's my learning experience. What I've learned that doesn't even make sense. a lot of times me having conversations with him when he's off balance, it's like talking to the wall. But he say he can hear me, but he's not here. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So that's something dealing with somebody with mental illness that people who close to them learns that it's not personal when they going through whatever they going through. It's not personal.
And then too, also what's important is communication style, as she brought up, like the way you communicate, how you speak, how you say things. So that matters because that could be a trigger to a person who's dealing with emotional issues.
Right.
So I think I think everybody needs to learn how to be assertive. But if you're not assertive, and if you're the type of person who just blurt out things without thinking, you know, and then later come back and apologize. And I always say to myself, no, you're not sorry. You meant it. You just mad that I responded the way that seemed like I'm hurt. But I believe people really mean what they blurt out. I really do. So, but I think some of us wear our heart on our sleeve.
And sometimes, like, a person like me holding in, like I said before, he has gotten me to open up and communicate better. Because at the point that I'm mad and frustrated, and I have done it so much, you'd be like, where did it come from? It's inside of me. But you're mad and you're not communicating well. It just goes bad.
Yeah, communication is very key. Is important. It's what keeps the world moving. You know, the way you make people feel, because what you say can make people feel a certain type of way. So when she made me feel a certain type of way, man, I just kind of see. You know, I viewed the world different. I did. I really viewed the world different after that moment. That was a life-changing moment for me, because it showed me, like, seriously, and I ain't trying to get philosophical, but it showed me that you're born by yourself and you're gonna die by yourself. That's what it showed me.
So in that moment, passing that moment, because, boy.
No, I'm just saying, because I think sometimes we get so connected to people and we think that that's just one view of the world. But at the end of the day, we're here, we're with people, but that can change at any moment. She could wake up tomorrow. She could wake up tomorrow and say this is too much. Or I could wake up tomorrow and say I don't want this no more. And then it'll just be a thing of the past.
Well, why would you think like that?
But that's the truth.
Okay.
Nothing is made to stay the same. Change is the only thing that's constant.
So, like I was saying, during those moments, all that happened, I'm not sleeping well. He's still gambling like crazy. With his mother, they're into it. Tyler's his ex-wife. Tyler shows some signs. We're not getting along because I'm mad at so much other things, and we're just very upset. So that was in January. We could fast forward. He's still not sleeping right. It's getting worse. It's not getting no better. So when he doesn't sleep all the time, he wakes up and he thinks about old things, old emotions, the things that anger him. So I'm not sleeping. He talks about it. He likes to talk. He talks about it.
You said that.
And then we're not sleeping.
You said that too.
So February comes around. Why you keep telling me I said that?
Because you did.
I'm saying how bad it got. It got bad where you weren't sleeping at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said that too.
But I'm trying to tell him, like, it's okay, look, it's time for you to go to the hospital.
I ain't want to go.
He did not want to go to the.
Man,
when I say,
psych ward like I've been.
I was like, this is ridiculous. Now this is getting bad. Like, okay, look, Chucky, you know, and I like really tried to put my foot down, like, and he said he was going a couple times. He'd go in there and walk back out. Why was you doing that?
No, I went right, and I went to the ER, and I told him what was going on, and I was like, I really don't need to go, do I?
You asked him that.
And I'm like, I don't really need to go, do I? Every time I go up there, be people triggering me, making me paranoid. I be thinking the FBI out there or policemen, because I think they studying me. I think they be watching my moves.
Okay, so I'm
They
begging
do. They
him.
probably be watching these.
I'm begging him to go. I'm like, Chucky, baby,
True.
can you just go? And he was like, okay, I'm gonna let you sleep. I'm not gonna do nothing. Let's make the agreement. Remember when you said that?
I don't remember that.
You said you're gonna make an agreement. You're gonna let me sleep even if you woke.
Oh yeah, I did. Because I was waking up.
Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna let you sleep. Okay.
Yeah, I woke up with a lot of energy too.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, Chucky, I want you to go to sleep. It's not about me too. I want you to go to sleep too. So we went through that for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was gradually getting worse. It was gradually getting worse. We had his birthday.
We was at my birthday and
I took him away.
she took me to
Citrus.
She took me to Cyprus, and then
He was still doing all these tax clients. Okay, it's tax season.
yeah, I had a lot of
He
tax
had all these tax clients that he's doing, so he's super busy. So I was like, I need to take him away, so he can, relax on his birthday. So we went to the studio first.
Oh, the studio. Hey, look, I dropped this one joint. They don't like it, but look, I rapped for 4.5 minutes. Was it 4 times or 3? Three times non-stop, and I didn't mess up not one time. I freestyled 3 times for 4 minutes plus. So I came up with a joint called Destroy Idols by Rick Ross. You know, he got the one rival, idols become rivals. So I took his beat, and I see people think I look like Rick Ross, right? So I took his song, since he was talking about Birdman being his idol, and he was rivaling him. Since people think I look like Rick Ross, I said, well, I'm gonna make him the idol, and I'm gonna destroy him. So I took this song, and I freestyled on the whole thing. Man, I killed it. They don't like it, but when I did it, you should have seen her face. Her face was stuck like she saw a superstar.
Would you stop?
It was true.
So
She was in the studio, it looked like I turned her on.
oh my god.
She was sitting in the chair like, ooh. You
What?
remember?
Stop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You was.
So we went to the studio first, then we went to Ruth Chris.
Yeah, I cried in Ruth Chris because I was in there with my jogging suit on, and everybody else was in there with nice clothes, and I ain't realized that I ain't think about to put on some nice
I
clothes.
asked him, he said no.
Yeah, she asked me about, did you come here before? See,
But I asked him before we left, like, you sure you want to wear that? He was like, it's my birthday. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
On somebody's birthday, let them do. I already know. So right now he's kind of agitated. So
and she had me in the woods.
Oh,
She took
no,
me all the way.
Okay, so at this point, where we at, because something was going on, Chucky was extremely agitated. It wouldn't take much to tick him off. So I'm like watching what I say. I'm like, you don't want to bring no other cup? No, this is my birthday. Hey, okay, that's what you want to do. So I take him to the Cypress. So he's becoming paranoid now, like extremely. He already was a little, but now he's becoming extremely paranoid. He opened the door when we got there and was like, you know what I realized? First he was excited. He said, you took me to these woods.
I did. I didn't know why she had me in the woods. Because at the same time, while I'm paranoid, see, I was already paranoid. Mm-hmm. Like, for a while, I really started being paranoid, like, around that December time frame.
Yeah.
Because this was around February, my birthday in February, February 26th, just in case anybody want to send me a gift. February 26th, but I was paranoid around December real bad. And I was getting on a bus, and I'm thinking everybody watching me. I'm just in the neighborhood thinking all the hood guys watching me and conspiring against me. Then I was thinking Shauna was a part of the big plot. Because in my mind, there's a big plot, and I think she's one of the people. So sometimes in those paranoid states, it gets really, like, real for me. Like, wait. So I'm in this place in the woods. I'm like, why she got me here? I'm thinking that she recorded me in the room. So I start like looking for stuff. Like, what is this? What is that?
Picking up
and then I was watching her like, man, she was making moves. I guess when you paranoid too, certain movements are very
That was
pronounced.
the worst birthday. I'm thinking I'm doing something for him, and he made it all bad. So I'm like, okay. Then he wakes. Remember I told you we wasn't sleeping. So I'm thinking like, if I take him somewhere, maybe we could sleep. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. You know, he slept for like an hour, woke up and said, "You got me in the woods. I can't stay out here." I said, "Chucky, I'm not going nowhere."
Yeah, I was ready to go. She had me in the woods, and I ain't know why. I ain't know why I was out there.
Yeah,
You don't see black men in the woods, really.
That was the worst.
Yeah, but you know, and then the next morning, we went to
Denny's.
Denny's, and I started breaking down crying, man. I was stressed because all these clients was texting me about their taxes, and I was stressed, and then I just started breaking down.
But all those, you see how all that stuff together, like after that,
yes,
after that, it wasn't just the clients, it was everything. And after that moment, which I will get to, my life changed. I changed everything the way I handle him. I make sure he goes away. Everything changed after that last hospital visit. And that was the last time he was in the hospital.
That was the last hospital.
And that's been a year and a half. That's the longest.
That's the longest I've been out
the hospital. I changed everything. After that, it really was a reality check for me. Because
I haven't been in the hospital.
I saw how stressed he was with everything. Now I get on his nerves, but he ain't been in the hospital.
Yeah, and then a lot of the stressors, one good thing about this is
I be on you, don't I?
Yeah, you do. When I like my son helped me, he was like, I was trying to take his mom to court. He was like, "Dad, can you not take her to court? Because I don't want her to lose the baby." So I respected him, and I left it alone.
And everything worked out.
Everything worked out because we was able to see him.
When we wanted to, everything worked out.
That worked out.
It was constant. It was consistent. And so we have a schedule. Everything that's worked out on its own, and God has really blessed us, opened up the doors. But that last hospital visit, it let me see a lot of things about how it was one thing. It wasn't just one thing that sent him to the hospital. It was so many things. And I was like, okay, it let me really step back and look. But this is experience.
And let me tell you something. Stress causes breakdowns. Watch your stress. This is for people that's not even mentally ill. But especially mentally ill people, we need to watch your stressors. Know your triggers. Know your tools to deal with these issues. Know how to relax. Know how to ask for help.
Relax. I got him, don't I?
Yeah, she helped me. She helped me relax. She helped me, get my feet done. She helped me when I go get a massage. We get massages every week. We vacation sometimes. So there's a lot of things.
Next week we're not gonna be here because we're gonna.
Yeah, next week we're gonna be out of town, but we'll be here. Are we not? We could film from there.
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll do a live or something. But
what?
Yeah, we'll do a live. Cause we live, we lit. I'm lit because I got the Holy Ghost.
Oh my God.
Ain't nothing more lit than the Holy Ghost. Do you understand me? If you get it, you got it. And if you don't get it, you need to get it. See, that's a sermon. I could preach just like that.
So after that,
you better get it.
We're going to talk about next time how I finally got him to the hospital.
Oh, we're going to talk about that?
Next time.
Yeah, we'll carry on with this conversation. It's always good conversation. And stay tuned every week, every Tuesday. We have the radio show. 1690 WVON AM at 9 p.m. Live, Breathe Mental Health with me, Katie, and Toy. And listen, if you don't have the books, go to bipolarpreacher.com. Pick up one of the 3 books I got. Bipolar Preacher, Light Switch. I got the Perpetual Thoughts. And I have the Mental Health Bible, Recovery Made in America. Check us out. If you like the clothes, I got a clothing line. Go to livekinglife.com. Check out all the gear we got. I'm going to start showing it and representing it on this show. If you want to know more about my wife, hit us up. Live, Breathe Mental Health. People reach out to her all the time and ask her questions.
Like, how you doing, girl?
Yeah, some people got questions, so stay tuned.
I deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a skill set. She has a grace for me. Amen. See, I could preach a whole show on that.
Wait, cut it y'all. Bye,
Grace.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Y'all be blessed.